Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, Talk Tuesday. We are here at the Straight Road. Beautiful day today, a little cooler. And I'm very excited about that. I know some of you might curse me, but with the cool nights and not too hot days, starting to feel like fall. I know, too early for some, but I'm excited. Anywho, okay, so we have 9 today, for those who like the head count. And a couple boarders, couple new faces. So we've got Kronk eating grass, Cosmo, Rusty's just going in the water here. I'll show you Rusty in a second. We've got Tucker, Hamish, Bailey. This is Justin. He's very cute. Good boy, Justin. Phoebe. I don't know if I said Tucker already, but Tucker. Rusty! Yeah, good boy. And Rusty. Rusty. There, okay, go. Go. Oh, sorry, Justin. Yeah, so that's us today. Oh, May. That's who I forgot. I knew I was missing somebody. And Miss May. So Rusty and Justin are boarding. Well, non-pack member boarding. Okay, out. Whatever it is, you're all too interested in it. Go on. Go. Thank you. Tucker. Thank you, kid. Tucker. Whatever it is, no. I know. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so Rusty's boarded with me before, so I know he likes group walk and car rides. So he is here with us, and he's just on a long line. As you can see, his recall is pretty spot on, but for things like, I don't know if you can see him way in the distance, but we had a jogger friend. And all I'm saying is I wish joggers had bells like bicycles, because like, didn't hear him come up until he was basically right on us, and then I don't have a lot of time to get everyone organized, but we pulled it off. And then of course, Justin, he's attached to me because he's a beagle. And while I have boarded him before and I have brought him on pack walk before, beagles do not go off leash. I might put him on a long line later in the week, but honestly, like, he's being so good. He's not pulling. He's very, very impressive for his breed. He's very well behaved. And so I'm trying to just like notice when he wants to smell something so I can stop. Which is actually not as often as most beagles. So, yeah. Okay, so I had a couple of questions I wanted to get to today. And they are in a particular order. They're in ones I think I can answer pretty swiftly versus ones that might take me a second. I've been getting a lot of DMs on Instagram of things like, do I have a training video for how to teach a sit, how to teach a down, how to teach a stand, how to teach a heel, how to teach a whatever. Yes, I have those videos. They are for stride clients. So I am not offering, other than Talk Tuesdays, where many people have said the tips have helped in their training and stuff like that. I don't offer free training videos. All of my training videos are for clients that have either done training with me or boarding, pack walk, etc. Good boy, buddy. There are trainers out there that offer lots of free content. There are also lots of trainers that have much better videos than me, because I am not a videographer. I don't edit clearly. You literally just get a slice of walk with me, and that's it. Come on, May. May doing her crop circles. Oh, hi, buddy. Justin. Oh, good boy. He's like, you appear to have liver. I also, in fact, like liver. He also has such a soft mouth. Good boy, Justin. Yeah, okay. So continuing on our way, but that's the short answer of that is no, I do not. There are lots of other ones out there. There's even really good trainers that have like a $10 a month Patreon that have phenomenal content. And even if you just sign up for a month and take advantage of all their videos, do your training, that's where I would recommend going for that. Number 2, why on pack walks do I discourage eating grass? Now, I am no veterinarian. I'm not a dog nutritionist. But overall, it's not so much that I want them to not eat grass. It's I don't want them to eat too much grass. And things like, while the grass here might be safer than, say, in the city if I'm walking along and we walk by a particularly tasty looking lawn and they go to take a chomp, like, I don't know what chemicals are there. I don't know what's going on with that grass. Bailey. Thank you. So if I can get them just in the habit of not eating grass, like obviously I'm not going to pick losing battles. Like in springtime when it's fresh grass and blah, blah, I will discourage overeating it because then I have to deal with dogs vomiting grass in my car. But generally speaking, speaking about eating grass and vomiting in my car, oh. He's so funny because he wants to play in the grass, but it's like 3 times his height. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, next one is, why do I walk at the straight road so much? Like you guys have seen, I have other places. I don't always go there on Tuesdays. And the reason being is this section is easy mode for us. So if I have dogs that are a question mark, like Rusty, and again, don't get me wrong, he's good, but I'm not ready to proof the recall yet. Like, his recall is good as it stands with no distractions. Well, I mean, the distractions being things that are under my control, except for random jogger. But even when we had the random jogger, like, he did recall, but I stood on his leash to make sure that he stayed here and didn't follow the jogger. Okay, hold on. Hey, Mish. That's enough. Cosmo, Tucker's done. Tucker's being a little weird today, so. Cosmo, Tucker is done. Thank you. He's like, but the zoomies, I wanted the zoomies. Okay, and it's some other short questions, but one of the ones I really wanted to get to, is the talk of like training tools and leashes and things like that. So the concept of a leash attached to whatever training tool. Kronk. Oh, sorry guys, I almost dropped you. Oh, see, obviously if I could edit, I would edit that out. Real zoom in of my hand. Anyways, so the concept of like using a leash and training tool, like whatever you use, is the idea that you're extending your reach, right? So dogs are pretty smart and they can figure out pretty darn quickly where your limit is to be able to enforce the training that you are trying to impart on them. For example, let's say you teach your dog how to heel and you teach them how to heel off leash inside, no problems. They're phenomenal at it. You go to take them outside, and if you progress too quickly, they're like, oh, but if I take 3 steps, I can just take off and that's it. That's done. I don't have to listen to my person anymore. So we use leashes to be like, no. You still have to listen. You still have to be held accountable to the things I've taught you. And you'll hear a lot of like, let dogs be dogs, and that's great. But the reality is we are shoehorning dogs into a human society, so they need to be held to a certain standard of training. Like, we just can't let dogs go and do whatever they want all the time, because the reality is they're going to fall back onto instincts, and a lot of their instincts aren't feasible for living in a city. And you'll see this a lot with rescue street dogs. Like, they've learned a certain way of life. Where's Bailey? Bailey, you're my example. Good girl. Good girl, come here. Bailey. Oh, thank you. Okay, go. So Bailey's an example of a street dog that was rescued, brought here. She's a family. She's a great dog. On the streets, she would have learned a completely different way of living. And the thing about street dogs too is they are massively intelligent, like crazy smart, and in the most ridiculous ways. So they will have learned things. Their parents have learned things. Their grandparents have learned things. And all of that is sort of locked into them because it is the smartest survive, right? So you're constantly getting bred for, not for a certain look, not for a certain coat type, not for a certain job. These dogs are literally breeding the smartest and the best of the best, right? And you can see, like, if you go back to earlier walk videos with her, the way that she acts around the other dogs is very different now, because she was acting the way she would with like other street dogs, and that just doesn't work for pet dogs. Kronk, do not go in that mud hole. It's like, nothing. I wasn't thinking of that at all. Good. And even pack walk itself is a great example, because naturally, in nature, these dogs would not associate. These dogs would have territory, and if they met anywhere on the edge of their territories, there would be a standoff, there would be potentially a fight, there would be a conversation. Bailey, not your business. Good. There would be a conversation about pecking order, and dog conversations are scary. They don't converse like we do. Like I say this all the time in my training, dogs don't speak English. They don't communicate the way we do. They communicate using their teeth, using their mouths, using their bodies. And to us, that looks really scary. So that's something we actually have to teach them not to do, right? Like, even breeds that are more mouthy, herding breeds like Cosmo, they're mouthier, right? So a lot of their language, they will, for instance, grab your hand. They're not biting your hand. Bailey, thank you. Oh. They look so hilarious in the bush, because it's like you don't see them. I had to put something neon on Rusty yesterday so I could see him in the grass. Not too far. Good. Good job. Okay, we should turn around anyway. I know, you're ready to turn, eh, Chuck? Okay, let's go. May, you're not going in that pool. Yeah, I'm aware. There's like this giant pit of stagnant water back there that I try not to get too close to, so people aren't tempted. Oh no, speaking of Kronk! Tucker, don't you dare! Tucker Bean! Thank you. Good boy. So you'll see like a big tree here. Basically, from that big tree to the end, it's all like standing stagnant muck. So I try to keep them out of it. Anyway, all that to say, Rusty, we're going this way, bud. Rusty, yeah, good boy. All that to say is, like, we take dogs and we show them how to communicate in our way, and we use things like Rusty, Kronk. I'm not getting swamp in my car today. And we use things like leashes, training tools, Kronk, voice commands, sorry headphone users, all to teach them and hold them accountable, like all to communicate with them effectively and hold them accountable. to what you've taught them. So, Kronk, I can still see you, kid. Wait until the ring of water. Yeah, and I say this quite often. It truly doesn't matter what training tool you use as long as you're using it the way it was intended. You guys know I'm a no judgment trainer. Like, I train using what's best for you and your dog. And this, again, pack is a good example of like all the different. Now, I use slip leashes for safety with pack walk dogs. So if ever I have to leash up, I will use slip leashes. Some dogs are on, oh, we finally found a good smelling spot. Good boy, Justin. Some dogs are on prong collars. So if they're on prong collars, martingales, or check chains, I will use those because that's what they're trained with at home. That's what they're used to. Oh, buddy. Oh, good boy. If they're on harnesses or halties, I will use slip leashes in those configurations. So what's nice about a slip leash is you can adjust it. So May, for example, is walked on a haltie at home. But I've learned through experiences that dogs can very easily slip through a haltie or slip through a harness if they're in a scared state. Now, not often are we in a situation where fear is involved. Like, we're here, it's pretty safe. But if ever I have to leash up the dogs, that means I'm not terribly confident. Not that I'm not confident. I'm not convinced of the safety of it. So to eliminate any unsafe factors, I leash everybody to me. And when I do that, I'm doing it in things that they definitely cannot get out of, just in case they try to bolt. Right? So for that reason, I always use slip leashes, whether I use it in a waist strap to mimic the harness, or I use it in the figure 8 over the nose to mimic a head harness or a haltie. So, God, that got a little babbly. Oh my God, I'm almost at 20 minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to sign off now. I hope you guys are having a good day. Just like any other video, if you have any questions, you know what to do. And yeah, that's it for me. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.